That ain't Wayne on the track, but you know it's about to be some fire. Welcome to a special episode of Cannabis and Coffee with LaTosque. And I'm tuned in with my guy Matt, all the way from Liechtenstein. Yeah, man. Cannabis and Coffee is motherfucking global if you ain't know, ho. We been global. And it's time for you to show your friends, family, your auntie, your sister, your cousin, your mama, your best friend, your baby mama, your girlfriend, your wife, everybody your episode and go cop you some motherfucking merch. Because guess what? You don't want to be on this train when it's too late. And that's just the truth. That's just the truth. So, without further ado, I'm going to play this video. And when I get back, I'm going to have my man Matt, and we're going to talk about what he's doing all the way overseas and what he's doing for the cannabis plant. He's got his cup of coffee ready. I got the joint ready, and let's make it happen.
What's up, dude?
Hey, what's poppin', G? What's
Dude, good morning.
poppin'? How you doing, man? Cheers.
Yeah,
Boom.
cheers, dude. Hell yeah.
Cause I'm
Dude, doing
smoking for
good.
you because I know you can't smoke over there, and I feel you, my guy. I feel you.
Yeah, man, it's an interesting thing being amongst the plants, but not being able to smoke any THC. They got a bunch of CBD out here, though, on the shelves at smoke shops and in the convenience stores and stuff. So, I'll be smoking
Okay,
on them, of
so
course.
they are selling CBD over there.
They're selling CBD, but THC is illegal, at least in Liechtenstein. Um, But yeah, CBD that tests under 0.3% is legal in Liechtenstein and in Switzerland. I think in Switzerland it actually can be under 1%.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, that's why I'm out here, man. We're going to be growing some CBG plants, like I kind of mentioned last time I was on with you,
Uh huh.
and uh, and our CBG plants have been bred to always test under 0.2% THC, which is what we're shooting for to get on in the European market, which is the most strict uh, THC limits in the world. So that'll kind of give us a
Yeah,
grandfather into being
I'm gonna
able to
say
sell
point
them.
three is not really a lot, my guy.
No, but in the EU market or the European Union market, it's 0.2%, which is the low.
Jeez.
Yeah, so that's why our CBG has been bred to always test below that, and that's actually where that I guess I'm kind of jumping a little bit, just diving right in, dude, if that's all right.
Oh, you good, man? You good?
So our our brand name that's going to be seen on shelves in the European market is called
Uh huh.
Clean CBG, and we call it that because it's real common practice in the European Union or their market to wash off all of the resin heads after they've grown their cannabis and then
Really?
reintroduce. Yeah, dude, it's gnarly. It sounds disgusting, dude. I haven't smoked it in.
Yeah.
I wouldn't bring myself to that. But yeah, they reintroduce CBD distillate or maybe isolate. But either way, yeah, they reintroduced the CBD after they've washed off all of the resin heads, so they can meet the legal limits of THC. But
That's crazy.
oh yeah, exactly. So we got
That's crazy.
yeah, dude, it's ridiculous, and that's not anything that I'm going to be doing. So we're going to come out here and just shake up the market, man. We brought out some genetics from Oregon, and they just grow naturally less than 2 or 0.2% THC. So I'm just going to grow those plants to the best of my ability using living organic soil, like I was talking
Mhm.
about last time, some top of the line equipment. And our herb is going to be just what our brand is. It's going to be clean, clean of all these.
So that was my question. What
Yeah.
the typography as far as like growing flowers and everything out there? What is the atmosphere like?
So, dude, so Liechtenstein is a micro. It's really a municipality, but it's a micro country. It's the sixth smallest country by or per capita in the world.
Okay,
Um, so it's, dude, it's like I mean, in Phoenix, it'd be like a neighborhood, dude. There's 39,000 people that live here.
in
That's
Liechtenstein,
in Liechtenstein, the whole country,
that's
dude.
not much bigger than my hometown, man.
Yeah, dude, exactly. It's tiny as hell, man.
So I see it's in between Austria and Switzerland. What
Yeah, it's actually. Well, sorry, go ahead.
what part are you staying in, and how long would it take you to get to either Austria or Switzerland?
Oh, dude, Switzerland. So I'm staying. I'm actually living in a hotel right now called Hotel Meyerhall,
Okay,
and I've been living. I mean, dude, a 3 minutes drive. I could run across the border to Switzerland right now, and it would take
yeah.
me, like 15 minutes, dude.
How are the
Um,
borders there? Are they
so,
pretty strict, or are they? Because I know
mhm.
from watching in news and everything, you don't really see that much border issues as you do out here in America. But it could be that they don't broadcast their issues as we do.
So as far as crossing borders and stuff, Switzerland has a special, or Liechtenstein rather, has a special agreement with Switzerland to where they have open borders. And the border between Liechtenstein and Switzerland is actually, there's a natural border called the Rhine River.
Okay,
Um, so as soon as I cross over the Rhine River, then I'm in Switzerland. And now, as far as
nice.
Austria, from where I'm at right now, I'd say it's about a 25, at most 30-minute drive. I could hop
Really?
on the bus and get to Austria in, about 45 minutes to an hour. Um, and Austria, they do have a border crossing there with customs. It
Hmm.
seems to not be much of an issue. I mean, if they wanted to, they could stop and search somebody just like crossing into Mexico. But it seems a lot more laxed than if you were to, let's say, cross into Mexico from the United States. Well, crossing
Okay.
into Mexico, maybe it's kind of like that because in Mexico, if you're going into Mexico, it's pretty chill. But when you're coming back out, you have to talk to people and stuff. Most of
Yeah.
the time, when you're driving into Austria or back into Liechtenstein from Austria, it's just no big deal. You have to wait in a little bit of a line, but it goes pretty quickly because they're just letting people through.
So what's the legal weed like in Austria and
You know,
Switzerland? Because I know in Liechtenstein you just explained the laws there,
mhm.
but are they different in Switzerland and Austria? Like, can you go and find a head shop in Switzerland or Austria and smoke flower out there?
I'm not too familiar. I'm sure I know that in Switzerland it's not legal yet. I've been hearing that they're talking about legalizing it in Austria and Germany, or at least in Germany. So I don't think that it is even medically legal out there, but I could be wrong.
Nice.
I really have just kind of been, since I got out here, which I got out here December 1st. So I've
So
just
you just hit the
been,
ground running.
yeah, seriously, man, just started getting seeds into the ground, meeting the people that I'm working with, and a lot of just like really cool dudes out here. Um, I mean, they're not necessarily European. They like a lot of them are, but Liechtenstein and Switzerland aren't part of the European Union technically.
Uh huh.
They have special arrangements with the European Union where they're basically part of it, but they don't get the same voting rights and stuff like that.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm
See,
working.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, me neither. I'm learning a lot of stuff just being out here. I haven't been learning much German, honestly, because that's what they speak out here. But a lot
Yeah.
of people speak English. So the first question that I ask basically is like, "Hey, do you speak English?" A lot of people are like, "Yeah." So It's pretty
You
funny.
you got plans on going up to France?
Maybe, I definitely want to do some more traveling once we get more of the facility set up and rolling and stuff. But right now, there's a lot of work to be done, so that's what I've been focusing on. My family and I, on our time off, we've gone. There, at first we were exploring a lot here in Liechtenstein because it's a beautiful little country with a lot to see. But we've been going to Switzerland lately too, checking out like Lucerne. Switzerland is awesome, dude, and
Yeah,
Zurich is really cool. So just trying to get back into some cities really, because out here there's little villages in this whole country, but like I was already saying, this whole country is like a neighborhood. You know what I mean? So,
and I
but
bet
yeah,
with you being a new face out there, everybody recognize like, yo, these some new folks right here, especially with it being so damn small.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I would agree to that. We tend to go to a few different of the same restaurants that have always like the people always treat us really well. I mean, I used to work in restaurants, so I always tip. Pretty much I'm generally going to be tipping 20% or more. Out
Yeah,
here, it's not really customary to tip. Some people don't tip at all, and that's pretty normal. But lots of people, when they do tip, it's maybe like 5%, 10%. So whenever I go in there, they they tend to treat us pretty good. They know that the Americans are there, and that we're about to
nice.
hook them up with a little bit of a tip. It's been
Nice.
interesting.
So
Um,
you got there December 1st, and you hit the ground running with production. How
mhm.
long? I'm assuming that the building was already put together. So how long until you actually have working um, product on the shelves for consumers in Europe?
So we are not everything is completed at the facility, so we're still working on that. But right off the bat, we got, I went and got some tents. Or the company suggested that we get rolling as soon as possible, and that's exactly what we did because of course it does take time getting things going. So I created a stabilized environment in the lung room, which I kind of talked about a little bit on the last episode. But for those
Hmm.
who don't know, a lung room is the room that you have your tents in, and your tents have inline fans on the top of them, and they call that room the lung room because the tents suck the air from inside of the tent out to suck the heat out, and they breathe in the air from the lung room. So you really got to get a good environmental control going on in there, just to ensure that your tent environment is where you want it to be. So I got quite a few tents going. I have some plants that are just about to be flipping into flower in the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
And so yeah, man, and we hit rolling. We hit the ground running quite quickly. I plan on cutting some clones from those plants, so that way when we finish up production here, I mean construction here, um, in the major veg and flowering rooms that already be, a step
In
ahead because we
place,
started
right?
everything from seed. So now at least we'll get rolling with clones, and we'll already have a limited amount of plants, like a small batch, you could say, I guess, with of our plants that are rolling into flower, but not far behind. We'll get the next round coming, and I'll be flipping those into flower, probably 3 to 4 weeks after I flip the flower in a couple of weeks. So we'll see how it
Now,
all works out. But soon enough, man, and within a couple of months, people will in the European market will start to see clean CBG hitting the shelves, and I'm super excited about that. It's going to be
nice. I'm
it's going to rock.
excited too. That packaging looks pretty fucking dope. I gotta
Oh,
let you know.
oh yeah,
Um,
man. I'm glad you like that,
Definitely
dude.
looks smooth, nice branding and everything y'all got going on.
Oh yeah,
Uh, so I was doing a little research, and I know that CBG helps with fight inflammation, pain, and nausea,
yeah,
um, and also is known to help combat cancer cells.
yeah.
What
It's interesting. Ooh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just about to say, what can you tell people, because you've been growing this plant for obvious reason, and you all have a nice business plan going together. What can you tell people about CBG that they might not have known before today?
Well, I don't know if you heard the recent news that is coming out of Oregon. That was kind of blown up a little bit out of proportion, in my opinion. But that hemp is actually a good way to combat the coronavirus, at least in laboratories. But a lot of people are saying, "Oh, that cannabis is the cure for COVID and stuff." I
Hmm.
read a little bit more into that, and the main cannabinoids that they were testing in those tests were CBDA, CBGA, and THCA, but they weren't able to continue experimenting with THC since it's not federally legal. But they're continuing experimentation with CBGA and CBDA. But it's CBGA is basically what I'm growing, higher amounts of in
Yeah,
these plants that I'm growing, which of course then it's similar to THCA, as in once you decarb the CBGA by smoking it or baking with it, then it turns into CBG. Um, but CBGA is also very, it's a very good cannabinoid for the endocannabinoidal system. It's definitely good for people, and it's been shown that that's something that can help combat COVID, is what they were saying. So there's that, and the CBG that we're going to be growing. I mean, it's going to be a welcomed change, I'm sure, for people in Europe. As I was talking about how they've been washing off all those resin heads. It's got
yeah.
to
So
be
now they're
new.
gonna actually get some quality.
Yeah, damn right, dude. And I mean, you got to smoke some of the weed that I was growing. You know what I mean? I'm not out here messing around or really doing anything different.
You
It's
did bring you brought some gas last time. You
Oh yeah,
definitely brought
man.
some gas with you last time. So
Yeah. So
definitely.
what's been pretty crazy though, dude, as a difference and a real, I'd say probably the biggest culture shock to me, besides all the complete difference of just being in a different country that speaks German, but is how hard it is to get soil amendments out here, dude. Because I just, our whole business model largely has to do with living organic soil
Hmm.
and created with the regulations that are out here for farmers and agricultural departments in the European Union, um, and the laws that we have to abide by in Liechtenstein and Switzerland. Um, Dude, there's a lot of regulations. So there's a lot. It's not
Yeah,
like I can just go
that's
to a.
crazy because you would think they would make it easier for growers,
Oh
farmers.
man, dude, it's been a real uphill battle getting all of the amendments that I needed. I mean, for the first month and a half, practically. I mean, almost the whole time that I've been out here, I've been trying to search where can I get basically any soil amendment. You go to grow shops out here, and they sell just like a soilless bagged substrate, which I'm not about
Yeah,
using bagged soil in the first place because I know how to create a living soil, but we finally found a few different companies, one based out of Spain, one based out of the UK, and then actually finally a local Liechtenstein company, this company called Nutrifly.le or LI, sorry, but they're this Liechtenstein company, and they breed mealworms, and I'm grabbing something called insect frass for the soil, which is just a really good natural soil amendment that helps.
yeah.
It has something called chitin. It's CHITIN in it, and it helps to make the plant more resistant to pests just naturally, so you don't have to spray,
Okay.
unnatural
You
pesticides
don't
and
have to
stuff.
use. Yeah, I was gonna say you don't have to use any pesticides and everything on it.
Yeah. But so like people out here are used to this very fucked with product essentially, and they're about to be getting to smoke just some living organic grown weed, man, that doesn't have any, like, no artificial anything. it's gonna be we're gonna change the world in a way. I like to think of it, in
Yeah,
small, at least the European market. That's for damn sure. But yeah, I'm really excited about everything that we're doing out here, and but that's been the biggest hurdle, dude, is just finding the soil. But now I got it ordered, man. It's
yeah,
on the way, and I'm gonna start mixing that soil next week or this week, really.
nice.
It's Sunday night here. It's about to be Monday. I get some of my amendments on
Yeah, I was gonna
Tuesday.
say
But
you said it's like you're 8 hours ahead.
yeah, it's 8 hours ahead of Arizona. So
Okay, jeez.
yeah.
Man, that's why I'm glad you hopped on, man. I had to get a catch up with you and see how everything was going with production. And I see you still rocking. You got your Live Love Cannabis shirt on. What's going on with Live Love Cannabis?
I mean, I'm actually out here largely in part because of my business partner, Araya Love. He was actually supposed to be the person coming out here, man. When the whole when this whole company was in its inception phase, Orion was who was supposed to be out here. But with everything with the pandemic, it just and he's a real busy guy too. But with the pandemic, he started to reevaluate some things, and I've always been real open to traveling and stuff still.
Nice.
And last time I was in Oregon, pretty much a year ago exactly, I talked to him and this other really badass grower named Adam Jocks,
Okay.
who's a couple of people that are part of this team, and they asked me if I was willing to travel for work, and I said hell yeah, man. They told me about this opportunity, and I was all over it. And
Shout
now
out to Adam.
yeah, man, Adam Jocks, that dude. That's the guy. If you end up watching the last podcast, I stopped short from talking about somebody who I, really well respect that I was going to be working with. I said I'm not going to say his name just in case, but now that everything's finally to where it is, that dude is he. Both him and Oriah. I mean, everybody that I'm working with on this team. There's this guy named Chris, another guy, Zach Hildebrand, um, and then everybody out here in on this side of the lake, if the way we put it. But there's Philip, who's the CEO of the company. He's from Liechtenstein, so this
Okay.
wouldn't be possible without him, really. Him and his family have been, great. There's these the dude who really like has done so much of the legwork is this guy Jim Volter, who's from Luxembourg, and his good friend Tim. I don't know Tim's last name. And then there's another guy named Ticho. But yeah, those guys, it's a real honor getting to work with everybody. And we actually have another American in Europe. He lives in
Okay.
Belgium. He's from New York City. This guy named John, who's doing all of the marketing. So he's going to be setting up the website and really getting more to work on the Instagram and everything like that. But I
Nice.
know that those guys are all going to be watching. And I definitely want to give a shout out to everybody back in the states and all the homies out here now. It's great working with these guys. And dude, it's like a dream come true, really, man. When they first told me about
Yeah, I
this,
mean, you're getting to travel the world and grow cannabis all over the place.
yeah.
I did want to ask you. You said your startup uh, crop were seeds from Oregon.
Oh yeah, yes, sir.
What
Yeah, they.
strains? What strains?
So right now we just have our flagship strain. It's called CVG 127, and that's
Okay.
that strain that grows a high percentage. Yeah, I mean, about 15 to 18% CBG.
Okay.
Higher CBGA, but once it's decarboxylized, then it's about like 15 to 18%. We'll see how the tests come once I'm
Yeah.
done. But
And you
but
said you said 127. Now is that you all crossed it 127 times before you came to this?
now what that comes from is that so in the cannabis industry, when you're growing, whenever you pop pop a bunch of seeds of one strain. You'll do a pheno hunt,
Mm-hmm.
and you're searching out specific traits in certain phenotypes. And lots of times, I mean, the most efficient way to do those pheno hunts is to just, you label everything, and you pretty much label it the name of the plant and then a number. So that's what that is. It's just from the pheno hunt, it was number 127. And,
Okay.
the Kula Ag has purchased that strain. So now it's for us exclusively. But
Nice.
we like the name,
And
especially,
you're going to also launch that here in the U.S., right?
I mean, dude, once we're able to show that we can, meet these standards of the European market, we're grandfathered in essentially to be able to sell worldwide. Now, I don't know if logistically how much sense it's going to end up making just with customs and all of this stuff to venture
Mhm.
too far out of the European market. But that's not really me, so I can't
Yeah.
speak too much on it. I'm
But with CBG, like, is that legal worldwide? Like, can you travel?
Yeah, I mean, well, I think so. But either way, I know that it can be shipped. They've shipped out. Sorry, I'm just burping and stuff, but excuse
Mhm.
me. But they from Oregon shipped out samples of the CBG 127 flower for Jim Bolter to actually take and kind of show some people. He ended up going to this like industry trade event out here in Europe
Okay.
a
And he
few
brought
months
something of
back.
the CBG 127.
Absolutely, dude. From what I hear, though, it's nothing like those Meta events that I met you at, dude. It sounds quite a bit different, dude. It was just like a lot of kind of stuffy, I think, is what it sounded like. Just with a lot of corporate heads who were very proud, and they're not ashamed
Yeah.
at all that they're washing off their products and all of this stuff.
Yeah.
So
They
so
most people in like those kind of markets, and I haven't met these folks or these businessmen. But most people, like, once they get to that stage, they start to forget to care about the product and
exactly,
forget to forget that it's more than just a product to people.
absolutely,
You know,
yeah.
um, it's there for healing. It's
Mhm.
there for relief. It's there for relaxation. It's there for comfort. A lot of people use it for a lot of different things, and it's more than just something that we can sell to people. Cannabis
Absolutely.
is something that heals people. So,
And
but
that's why it's good to have people like you, LaTosque, and the people that you have on your podcast, raising awareness and reminding people of that, dude. That's what I love about your podcast, man. I
man,
just want to thank
I
you again
appreciate
for
it.
having me back on, dude. Like me and the girls, the plants obviously are all girls. So me and the girls, the ladies, we've been listening to your podcast quite a bit. And I was kind of mentioned it earlier, dude, but I was listening to that podcast between you and Next Level Edibles.
Hmm.
Uh, and man,
Shout
dude,
out
I've
to Mr. Anthony Jenkins of Next Level Edibles out in the
absolutely
Bay.
that was a
Amazing
great
products.
episode.
I can't wait to try some pretty soon.
Hell,
Um, Definitely will be have the link with Mr. Anthony.
yeah,
Um,
man, that sounds amazing. I know next time I'm back in stateside, I'm gonna have to go searching some of that out in California, dude. Because man, the edibles that he was talking about, I'm gonna have to get your book, man. I mean, you guys were talking about your book, and dude, what you were talking about with those vegan Philly cheesesteaks, dude, that sounded amazing, dude.
oh man, I love it.
Yeah,
1 second, actually. Speaking of that book, I gotta let people know you can find the book digital, and you can find a physical copy. You could go to Amazon or you could go to Barnes and Noble. I ran a holiday sale, and Walmart wasn't trying to drop the price that low, so they pulled it off the shelf. but I ran a
Oh,
holiday sale where I offered the book for $10. Um, yeah, because I wanted everybody to be able to go and grab a few copies and everything. So the price is back up though, and
good Lord.
we are getting ready for the next book. So I hope y'all ready for that. Coming up, we got a lot of stuff in the spring. We got music performances and all of that. But I'm not going to get too far away from what we're talking about because last time I wanted to ask you, last time, do you remember what strain you brought for us to smoke?
Oh yeah, yeah. That was a strain that was bred by a company called Homegrown Natural Wonders. Um, and it's a strain called Old Dirty Diesel. It's cross between New York Sour Diesel and um, oh no, I'm sorry, it's a cross between Oregon Diesel, which was bred to be able to finish earlier for the shorter grow season in Oregon,
Hmm.
and something else. But if you were to check out Live Love, sorry man, if you were to go check out homegrownnaturalwonders.com, they have some really good descriptions
Of
on like
that flower.
everything from, yeah, about their flower, you know, the genetics that
Nice.
it came
Because
from and
that
flower.
strain was like super gassy.
Totally,
And
man.
I definitely, that was good. That was good. I fuck with it.
Oh yeah,
Um,
man. Dude, I'm glad
man,
you did. I'm glad you liked it.
so
Dude, that was
how,
such
what's
a
been,
fun time.
you
Oops,
say
sorry.
what now?
I said that was such a fun time just getting to actually, be there with you in person, dude. It was great meeting you at that Meta event, but just to have you invite me into your home and just to get to sit there and chat it up, it was something special, dude. I really enjoyed that, man, and it's
Hey
something that I
man,
think
you're a genuine person, Matt, and I appreciate you coming into my home, my space, and you also bring in the flower and a lot of education about the cannabis plant.
yeah,
That's one thing that I wanted to focus on when I was creating this was making sure that I'm able to invite people who are more informed than me because I don't know everything, but I know a lot. And I still want to invite more informed people that I could pull resources from and be able to learn more about as well as share that knowledge with other people as well.
oh
So
yeah, man.
that's the main thing, man, is taking that knowledge and not just holding it, but sharing it, spreading it with everybody because everybody can use the knowledge.
Absolutely. I'm glad that you bring that up too, because that kind of almost mission statement really resonates with like Jim Volter, who was that guy that I mentioned from Luxembourg, who's like pretty much doing most of the legwork, literally with like everything out here as far as
Yeah,
the build out of the facility, lining up investors, like everything. This guy he's killing it, man. But his vision is very much towards you know he's very aware of climate change, so we're trying to make sure that we do everything as economically, or well, not economic, well, ecologically conscious and or conscientious. But anyway, we're trying to just keep the planet in mind,
hmm,
but also educate the people out here um, with as much as we can about the plant, and about living soil. And we're not going to be quiet or try to, hide some kind of trade secrets from anybody out here in Europe. I mean, like I was saying, dude, it was a bitch to get our soil, man. I want
yeah,
more people to start growing with living organic soil out here, dude. Everybody's just literally everybody is just buying like soilless substrate and buying salts, basically, dude, the bottled nutrients, just buying up a whole shelf, and just everybody's growing basically the same out here, dude. So at least on a commercial level, because now we're going to be coming in here and shaking it up, dude. We're going to show
is
people
it
that
is
like,
it is it is it pretty dried out flour when they hit the shelves out there, or
so
are
I
they
mean,
able
just
to
speaking on
some
the
fresh product?
CBD, speaking on the CBD side, and that's all that I've really been able to get is it's it can be, I actually picked up a pack from from a convenience store from the gas station the other day, this brand called
Yeah.
High Matt, and it
Wait, what
actually
was it
was
called?
it's called High Matt, which is
High
pretty
Mac.
funny. Yeah, like, but it's spelled Heimat. But for me, it's like, oh,
Okay.
you wish you were high, Matt. Just a constant reminder, just like you can't be high, Matt. No, I'm just
Let's
kidding. But
say.
yeah,
I'm
but
wondering if I can find that packaging,
man, I can send you a picture later. But
please, because that's
yeah, yeah, I will. But yeah, I actually picked up a pack of that, and it was pretty sticky. But you can tell, dude, that it's just grown with salt. It's indoor CBD flower that's for Switzerland and Liechtenstein, so it can test. Well, Liechtenstein has to test under 0.3%, which is the same in the U.S. Um, but so it tested like 2.5% or something. So they're not washing off their resin heads. It's specifically that European market. Those
yeah.
guys, just nobody's been able to naturally get it under 0.2%. So everybody's just either staying away from that market and selling it in Switzerland or other countries to where it can test higher, or they're straight up washing off all of the resin heads. So that's going to be the outstanding difference between what we're doing and what everybody else is. But that's the outstanding difference that on the surface. But then people are going to smoke our herb and they're going to be like, holy shit, what was I
Yeah.
smoking before? Because that wasn't flour. This is flour. Because shit, dude, I know about drying and curing. I know about growing with living organics. I know about
Yep.
trimming properly so that you're not hacking this shit to death and cutting off all the resin heads, man. And the people who bred this stuff, it was bred with quality indoor, genetics, dude. That it's a crossbreed between flower that was meant to be grown indoors and its organ genetics, as
Yeah.
opposed to out here where up until recently you could only grow there was a handful of approved strains that all came from like essentially the same origins that were allowed to be used in Europe up until
Okay.
very recently. And
Wow.
now we're able to bring
So
in
they
stuff.
only allowed them to grow certain cannabis strains.
Oh, dude, yeah, the
And
laws
I
out here.
guess you probably had to buy the seeds from them, huh?
Oh, I mean, I don't know at that how far that was, but I would imagine it was some kind of monopoly situation. I'm sure the people
Yeah.
that were making the most money off of that were probably pretty hard pressed to give that up for as long as they could. But
Yeah. That's
it's
wild, man.
oh, dude, it's a whole new world, dude. It blows my mind sometimes. Just how different it is from being in the United States. So, if anybody's growing out there in Arizona, do me a favor, go to like buildasoil.com or go buy some amendments from Down to Earth or some shit like that. Get yourself some living organic soil going, because I'll tell you, it's a hell of a lot easier than it is out here to get that shit going, dude. And it's a hell of a lot cheaper. So if anybody's growing with living organic soil, then grow a little bit more for me, because I fucking miss that shit, dude. I miss how easy it was. But but dude, that's a thing in the past now, because we had to like really modify our soil recipe just due to what we couldn't get essentially. But
Yeah.
dude, we're still gonna have a quality living organic soil, which I kind of talked about on the last podcast. So I'm trying to stay
Yeah.
away from it a little bit. But the thing about quality living organic soil is you create like a multiverse, man. Like, so even though we're going to be growing top quality flower on the
Mhm.
surface level, that's what our company is, right? But really, if you dig a bit deeper, what we're doing is we're just making quality soil, dude. Because if you have good genetics, you have quality soil, you have quality equipment, then you're gonna get good flower, dude. And that's also what I want to tell people out here in Europe and everywhere, man. That's what Live Love Cannabis is about, and that's what we're doing out here, man. This is like an extension of Live Love Cannabis. It's Live Love Cannabis in Europe, because I mean I work closely with Oriah still, and that's what we're doing. If it weren't me
Yeah.
out here, it would be him out here. and he would be doing the same thing, spreading the same messages that you got to have love for the plant, have love for the earth, and literally, if you show that earth love, a tablespoon of that living organic soil has 4 billion living organisms in it, dude. So imagine,
Fucking insane.
5-gallon pot, dude. We're talking about a literal multiverse of life in there, man. And that's what it's really all about, dude. Is the plant and giving that plant what she wants in the most natural way that you can. And if
Exactly.
you get good at cultivating some good living organic soil, man, you can grow anything, dude. Some quality vegetables. You
I
can
was about
know
to say, yeah, it's
exactly
not
what.
just with cannabis. You could grow.
Yeah, because that's the thing about plants, dude. The beautiful thing about plants is that as long as you're not using this like synthetic bottle nutrients that like force feeds plant stuff, and that's when you'll start seeing burning going on in your plants and stuff. Now, if you use living organic soil, you essentially give the plant like a buffet that it can then decide and pick and choose what it wants at whatever point in time that it wants, because it exudates, which I also talked about before, but the plant, it kind of sweats off these exudates that then attract different bacteria and fungus that eat up those exudates and excrement other things. And like you were saying, dude, it's like a human centipede type situation after that, because then those eat the next, whatever
Yeah,
that's pooping out. And then eventually
on
that
down the
plant,
chain.
exactly, and then that plant is able to uptake the nutrients more easily because of the living organisms that broke it down for her. And she attracted those specific living organisms at whichever specific point in time that she wanted those specific nutrients, dude. So
Right.
it's that's what it's all about, is just creating this life, and then just letting your plant do the rest, dude. You give her light, you give her good water, and dude, she's gonna thrive. Speaking for cannabis plants, but plants in general, like we were just saying. But yeah, man.
Hold on, I gotta grab this flyer real quick.
Oh yeah, man, no problem.
So I definitely know a group of people. I think that I need to connect you with. I just met
Oh,
them yesterday at the um, the Cannavet Fest,
oh, nice.
and this is a really dope company, nonprofit called Vet Codes. I'm reaching out to them to have them on the podcast, but
Oh,
also the festival that I went to. It was all about educating veterans on how to grow and how to empower themselves, through cannabis and everything like that. And I was just like, damn, when you were talking about this, I was like, you know what? I need to let Matt know. We need to get him in contact with Cannavet because
hell, hell yeah,
CBG
dude.
would also be able to help a lot of vets. And
Dude, absolutely, yeah.
And
What I was
with what
gonna
you're
kind
saying with the living soil, a lot of people out here can already purchase that. So if you already are living in a state where you can, well, pretty much every 50 states, you can grow CBD, CBG. You can start with that. If you're not smoking cannabis with THC, or if you are living in a state where you want to grow your own THC, go ahead, grab you your own grow kit. It doesn't really cost a really lot. I'm gonna find a sponsor with a grow kit, and then I'm gonna show y'all. I'm just do an elapsed time period, and show y'all how to grow.
I
I feel like I've had enough growers on here. I need to go ahead and do a grow segment and show people how to grow some cannabis, and then I'll probably do it with some living soil, and then do one with another soil mix. Um, but you bringing that up definitely made me think about this event yesterday. And everybody, if you look up vet codes, Cash App is $vet codes donations. Like I said, it's a community for veterans, and they want to educate them on cannabis and get them all organized and helped out throughout the community, the cannabis community. So that was a big festival that I got to go to yesterday and see a lot of different companies out there, and it was nice to see the support for. It was held at the VFW, but it was nice to see the support from those companies, having them out there for the veteran community. That's one thing that I definitely appreciate coming from a line
Oh,
of military friends and family.
oh, dude. I mean, yeah, completely, man. I'd love for you to get me in touch with those guys, dude. One of the people that I respect, you know, vastly is the owner of Geek Farms out in Oregon. Mike, Geek Mike is what they call him, but I mean, he's a veteran, dude, and that was,
Shout out to Mike.
yeah, hell yeah. Shout out to Mike. Shout out to everybody out there in Oregon and Geek Farms. And but the Mike, he since he was a veteran, I mean, he found that the cannabis does help with a lot of things that developed from being in war. I mean, he was in war and everything, and in Afghanistan, um, and that was a large thing that pushed him to starting his own grow and yeah, just trying to help veterans. So if there's any way that I mean, I'd love to get in contact with them and
Yeah,
see
I'd
what.
love to have him on the show, man.
Dude, that sounds like a
You
dope
can make
show, man. I'd love
If
you
you
to
can
keep me
make
on.
that connection for me, I'd love to have interview him and talk about what he's doing with cannabis and the community and everything.
Oh, Geek Mike, yeah, out in Oregon or no?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, I'll have to see what he's up to, man. I mean, yeah, if you could get some people from out in Oregon, I think that they could. I mean, dude,
I've had Christine Smith from the CEO and founder of Groom. I've had her on here. She's an amazing young woman, and very open-minded and forward-thinking. She has a CBD company called Groom.
mm,
She sponsored one of the META events out
oh,
here,
cool.
and she just recently launched in the Arizona market not too long ago. Um, but she was one of the CBD companies that made headlines a few years ago when Kim Kardashian had her birthday. I mean, not birthday. Kim Kardashian had her baby shower
Oh,
and had a CBD company there. That was
huh.
Christine. She was giving out her CBD at Kim Kardashian's baby shower.
That's pretty
She's
dope, dude.
also yeah, she's dope, man. If y'all can go check out that interview. Like I said, it's Cannabis and Coffee with LaTosque, and you'll see featuring Christine Smith from Groon on the tagline, and you'll see it's really dope talk and very
Is that on
informative.
is that on any of the other platforms? I've been listening to you on Google Podcasts when I'm at the grow because I'm not really
Okay.
able to talk too much, but I do
Uh,
listen.
I'm gonna need to check. I'm pretty sure it's on Spotify and YouTube. I know for sure it's on YouTube. Every episode is on YouTube. Um, and I gotta check and make sure it's on Spotify. But if I'm not mistaken, I know for sure it's on Apple
Oh,
Podcast.
dope, dope. Oh yeah, I'll have to check that one out.
Yeah. So what time is it there?
It is. It's about to be 10. Or
About to be
sorry,
10?
about to be 8. Sorry about that.
8. All right.
I've
Nice.
changed my. I've stopped trying to think so much in the like imperial system and the way that things are in the U.S. And a lot of
Mhm.
clocks here, the military time, or like the whole 24-hour clock. So I
Okay.
changed the clock on my phone to that, but I get confused sometimes. But it's about to be 20. It's
Okay.
1958 right now. Um,
So
but
quick question: Was this? Let me see if I could pull it up. Oh, okay. Hold up.
yeah. Yeah, man, I'm definitely gonna have to check out that podcast. Um, it's been real nice listening to the stuff that you've been just putting out, dude. I mean, of course, I've been trying to do a little bit more listening, just coming onto this podcast, but it's just making me like your podcast more and more, dude. And I'm like addicted, I'd say.
Appreciate it, man. I,
Oh
I
yeah.
I found that company that you were talking about, man, and this is some interesting packaging. Um,
Oh, the high
the
man.
little the green and white box.
Yeah, they also
What
have
do you,
like packages of flour too, because they make the like the cigarettes that are, I haven't tried those ones, but I
okay,
just
I see the
been flour.
flower now. It's called
Mhm.
indoor urns.
Yeah, I mean that's just everything's in German out here. That's
Nice,
been really interesting. So I'm driving around now, right? Like they got me a company car. This car called the company is that makes the car is a Skoda, which is
uh-huh.
apparently like a Czech version of Volkswagen. And dude,
Really,
this car's supposed to run for like 3 million kilometers, which is, I mean, it's over 1 million miles, that's for sure,
three
dude.
million kilometers.
Yeah, dude, this thing's supposed to
Holy
just like,
shit!
these Skodas are supposed to be just
How
like
many miles on it right now?
309,000 kilometers.
Wow,
So you could do the
they really
conversion.
be rolling around that camp, huh? They probably
Yeah,
just drive all across Europe. I mean, with everything being so small.
dude, yeah, seriously. I mean, it's really interesting. I mean, I used to drive because I was living in Tucson. I'd drive up to like Flagstaff. That takes it's like a 4 hour drive from Tucson. Shit, dude, if I were
Yeah,
to drive 4 hours right now, I could be in Milan. Out in like Italy.
right. Yeah, I was about to say. I was looking at the map, and I was like, you could easily drive to France in a day.
Definitely, man. I plan to do a lot more traveling. Actually, my family. My girlfriend Millie Kim and my son. You shout out to
Mhm.
them as always. I love them with all my heart.
Yes, shout
They're
out
gonna
to
be.
her. She's always supporting and
Oh
watching the
yeah, dude, she
podcast.
loves
Thank you
what
so
you're doing,
much.
man. Yeah, yeah, she loves what you're doing. She's an avid follower on Instagram and loves all the food that you're cooking. You're quite an inspiration to her, man. You inspired her
Appreciate it.
to make some good dishes, dude. She went to culinary school and stuff, and so she's quite a good cook as well. And
Nice.
it's
I can't wait
nice.
to see. Can't wait to see what she's whipping up.
Oh yeah, dude. That's what's been real cool, man. Is so out here there's really not much in the way of fast food, which is really welcomed because in the United States it's just so easy to eat like shit,
So
really.
many options.
Yeah, dude. And then lots of times it's cheaper to eat that, just than going in grocery shopping even sometimes, like you can go
Yeah.
to McDonald's and get something cheap. They have a McDonald's here, but dude, it's expensive, man. It's like I could
Really?
actually go to a real restaurant and pay less than going to McDonald's, dude. So
Wow.
it, it's been nice. Yeah. But Liechtenstein's like it might be the most expensive country in the world, dude. So it's
Okay. I'll
but
have to keep that in mind.
yeah. Dude, but so they're going
Yeah.
to be moving out to Turkey because of visa restrictions. In Liechtenstein, it's very exclusive on who they let get visas. And since we're not married or anything like that, my girlfriend and I mean, we do have our son together, but she's going to have to be leaving to. It was either going to be go back to the United States for 3 months,
Hmm.
and this is I want to see my family, or Philip.
That's that's right. Because it's only you only get what, like 60 or 90 days in the country without the visa or something.
90 days for every 180 days. So she can be gone. So she's going to go to Turkey with my son because Turkey's only like a 2 hour, 3 hour flight from Zurich airport there in Switzerland. So
Hmm.
basically, she's going to be living out in a place called Izmir, Turkey, which looks really cool. And I'm going to go out on my days off, start trying to
Nice.
take 3 days off a week or maybe like work, an extended week and then go out there for like 5 days or so. But at least I'll get to be seeing my family every so often as opposed to like, just traveling back and forth from the United States would be really impractical.
Yeah, I
So
was gonna say, how long does it take for you to fly from there to the U.S.?
I mean, to fly back to Phoenix Airport, because I mean, Tucson Airport is like it's just pretty much not going to happen.
Yeah.
But to Phoenix, dude, you're flying out here. It took almost 22 hours, dude. It was a whole day, man.
Yeah, I
So,
could be in the air that fucking long, man.
oh, dude, and yeah, my 4-year-old son, he did really good. It was his first time flying ever, but
Yeah.
man, I could, it wasn't, it wasn't super pleasant. But dude, I know that we're kind of running low on time, and I just remembered something that I wanted to talk about on your podcast.
Go ahead.
Um, so we ordered, like we're ordering all this industrial equipment and stuff to build out the facility, and we got these custom tables made, these like rolling tables that a lot of grows use, honestly. But we got ours made, for our facility, for our flowering room and our bedroom, and we didn't realize that the way they were going to ship them is they essentially just cut them in half, and we're on a second story, or we're actually on the third story of this warehouse building.
Yeah.
And when we have like a service elevator that's quite large, right? But when the tables showed up, they were too big to fit into the elevator.
Even
Oh
cut
my
in
god.
half.
Well, so like we couldn't, like they're built to where they kind of lock into each other, So in the
Oh,
pieces that they had sent out, some of the pieces were over 3 meters long, which like a meter is just over 3 feet. So
three
we're
feet.
talking like 9 foot pieces. And so like they just dropped it off, and
Wow.
we were like, holy shit, we can't get this into the building. But the crazy thing about Liechtenstein is Philip, the CEO, he was born here, he grew up here, he's a well-respected figure. And out here, it's just the type of place where if you know people, I mean, of course, that's just kind of how it is everywhere. Like if you know people that you can
Yeah.
get more done. But dude, he ended up calling up these guys, some friends of his that have this company that drill into one of the mountains here in like Liechtenstein or Switzerland to
Yeah. So they
extract
had the
heat.
heavy equipment to lift.
They had a crane, dude. So I never would have thought in my wildest dreams that I'd be a part of like somebody just we're like, holy shit, what are we gonna do with these tables? And then it's just a phone call away, like, hey, yeah,
Yeah.
tomorrow somebody will come with a crane for free and just
Yeah.
hoist these things, and we brought them in through the window, dude. It was so wild, man. Like just to see this guy, this
Yeah.
Bosnian guy, Jivan, just with his little like controller, and just like because the crane is controlled by like a controller that he wore like over his chest and stuff. But yeah,
Yeah.
just hoisting up those things like a wizard, man. He just like that dude was so skilled with that crane, man, because they were like 9 foot long pieces that he was just bringing up one at a time. I'll send you the video, so
Yeah.
that you
I
can
was about to
see
say, I
him.
bet it was a pretty exciting experience, man.
Yeah, dude. But yeah, man, it's
Yeah,
been
definitely. You gotta find a way or make a way, man. That's
exactly.
always that's always the move, man. Find a way or make a way. And that man definitely thought on his feet by hitting up his old friend and having
Yeah,
them to come through with the crane.
yeah, man.
So I do got a few more questions for you,
All right.
and let me pull up that list because I didn't get to ask you a few last time, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna save those for next.
Hell yeah.
All right. Now that you're in Europe, where do you most want to visit?
Uh, Man, that's a really good question. There's a lot of really cool places. The first thing that's coming to my mind is I want to go to Dracula's castle in Romania, dude. It sounds gnarly,
Dracula's
man.
castle in Romania.
Right, dude? I
Definitely was
mean,
not the answer I was thinking, but that's a hell of an answer.
well, people have been, throwing out suggestions ever since I've been out here of like,
Yeah,
they'll just look at a map and they're like, oh, you're not that far from here. You should check out here
yeah,
or whatever. And somebody mentioned that. And it's like, damn, yeah, because I mean, he's based
exactly.
off of a real person. So,
That's
yeah.
tight. All right. What's one thing that surprised you most about your transition?
I mean, I definitely, like I was saying, that soil, I did not expect it to be such a hassle to get the soil. Um, but I mean, what's really pretty crazy is that just how early everything closes. Oh, okay, I know
You
exactly what
said
really.
it closed early.
Everything closes super early in Liechtenstein and like in the small villages in around here. It's just such
Yeah,
a small country and stuff. But what really surprised me is I've never been a big fan of Walmart, right? Just for lots of different, pretty obvious reasons, I'm sure, to a lot of people. But god damn, dude, I never would have thought that I wanted a Walmart so damn bad because everything is just like at one point we were making some oil, some
yeah,
extract, right, with CBD, we'll say, um, but basically Rick Simpson oil, and I wanted to get some cheesecloth, right, to strain out the alcohol and the plant
damn. It
extract.
was a pain to find cheesecloth.
Cheesecloth, dude. I went to five
Wow.
different places and three different villages, man. It was I was driving around all damn day looking for cheesecloth. Me and that dude Dean Volter, man. I was telling him, I was like, oh yeah, it should be at like a grocery store or something. And we were joking around, like in America, do they practically give away cheesecloth? You can fucking find
Yeah,
it
it's
anywhere.
in damn near every grocery store.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but so that's what I've been really kind of just like, damn, man, you got to go literally like to go to the grocery store, you're gonna get groceries there, no like drugs or anything, like pharmaceutical
Yeah.
or over the counter things. You got to go to pharmacies for that. You got to go to like just different stores for every different thing. So that's
Do
been
they
pretty.
have Amazon there?
They do, but dude, a lot of like you can't get a lot of U.S. things out here. I guess that's another thing that really surprised me, dude. I didn't think that it
Huh.
was going to be such a pain in the ass to get like I have to log into Amazon.de, which I didn't find out for like a few weeks, but I was looking at Amazon.com, and that's the other thing, dude. My phone, Google, shoot, I mean, I love Google. Don't get me wrong, Google's
Yeah,
awesome. It always tries to show me US things. I'll have to be like, even if I type something in German so that I can hopefully find something like in the area,
yeah,
it'll just translate it to English and then it'll show me stuff in the US that I can't get, dude. This is
yeah.
just dangling that stuff in front of me.
That's wild. I didn't. I was wondering. I was like, yo, do they got Amazon out there? So yeah, they everybody who's watching in Liechtenstein, you can go and search LaTosque on Amazon, and you can find my cookbooks, and you can have them delivered to your house in less than 7 days, and
Hell
you
yeah,
too can
man.
learn how to cook with CBD.
Dude, I'm absolutely gonna have to be snagging your book, dude. I'm gonna get on Amazon and get on there and order that book because I'm glad that you brought that up. I'm glad that I also talked about it earlier because earlier when you were talking about some of that stuff, man, or on some of your other podcasts, man,
Mm,
I definitely want to try some of your recipes, man, for sure.
man, I appreciate it. I definitely. I hope you enjoy those recipes when you do try them.
I'm sure I will.
Um, one more question. Well, actually, two more questions.
All right.
What's a goal you hope to achieve this year?
This year, dude, I hope to be known, or our company to be known as the best legal flower that you can buy in Europe, dude. Straight up, nothing less, man. I want us to change this European market, dude. I want to show people that you can smoke good flower, man, and it doesn't have to be all tampered with and everything. I really want to change the perspective. Um, and but yeah, that's something that I definitely want to accomplish.
That's a solid goal right there. That's a
Yeah,
solid and achievable goal.
it's gonna
Um,
happen.
so, if you were to write a book about the next chapter of your life, what would you title it?
Ooh, man. I heard you ask this question to somebody else, and I was like, hopefully LaTosque doesn't ask me that out. Let me think. So, hmm. Hmm. Taking the off beaten path. something like that. See, that sounds like a terrible. Well, it sounded cooler before I said it. You know.
Hey, no, man. It's a good title. It's a good title. It's the title that you thought about, and you. So, thank you for
Oh
hopping
yeah,
on today, Matt. I hope that the people have been informed enough all about this beautiful cannabis plant, not just all of the THC properties, but the CBN, the CBG, and CBD. List
and
goes
then
on. All of the beautiful terpenes. Oh man, which shout out to fucking Chef Turtle, man. This dude,
that's cool as hell, man.
man. You know what? What? Damn, I just got ashes all over the bed. But shout out to Chef Turtle, man. This dude held three or four classes yesterday, where he was showing different infusion methods, and I sat through the honey infusion course, and it was very informative. And yeah, man, shout out to Chef Turtle and Kaylee Marks. They both held those workshops at the Cannavet Fest, which was really dope. And yeah,
Oh yeah,
information, man. Sharing knowledge is very important, man.
one hundred
Teach a man
percent.
how to fish, guy. Teach a
Yeah.
man how to fish. Matt, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for going out there spreading the love of cannabis throughout Europe. I can't wait till you back in the States, and I definitely can't wait to get my hands on some of that clean CBG,
As
which
soon as
people
it's ready,
can
I will
find
be
more
sending you.
information
Hell
at
yeah.
livelovecannabis.com and cooler-ag.com. Make
Yes,
sure
sir.
y'all go check out those websites. Make sure y'all support Matt and follow Matt at Live Love Cannabis. Of course, you're already following me, and if you're not, what the fuck are you doing? But if you are not following me, follow me at LaTosque, LATOSQUE, and LA Talks Ganja at all platforms. That's LATALKSGAG. I mean, GANJY. LA Talks Ganja. I'm a little high. I'm about to smoke some more and watch some football. Matt, thanks for coming on, man. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
you. Shout out to you and your family. I hope you
Thank
enjoy Europe, and I'll see you and your products very soon.
Peace out, everybody. Thank you, LaTosque. I'll talk to you again some other time, man.
Yes,
Peace.
sir.